Tatsumaki just standing there with her hands on her hip is fan service? Like, that's what she wears, bro. How is that fan service? Like, females can't wear stylish clothing, as it were.
Who's the one about Tatsumaki?
You told about the cover page. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think a character design can be like, a design can be like fan service. There's certain designs like that. I think Tatsumaki's design at first wasn't really like that, but this man.
There have been redraws where he draw like short and like simple, like how he draws Saitama, and then in the redraws he draw her not like that.
I think he said not like that. Well,
he changed.
But that's something what I'm talking about. What do you mean when something happened?
Something happened with Murata. I think he may have said something where he was like, I don't really like Tatsumaki, but something sparked in him where he was like, damn, Tatsumaki one of the baddies too. And he just started drawing her differently. I swear Tatsumaki did not look like this before.
Bro, I thought y'all were capping, but dead ass, I did. I'm at chapter 30 right now. And you get kind of like a full body view of Tatsumaki. Her titties is not like they is in 179. Them hips and thighs is not like they is in 179. You right, but you could also say that his arch has gotten better. Like,
that's true.
You could
some characters just look different. Darkshine looks different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he definitely has a different design. I would even say Tank Top has a different design too, to a certain degree. Atomic for sure does.
King just every arc is getting an upgrade in his design.
Yeah, like there was definitely some subtle changes along the way. Not to mention like the obvious changes or evolutions that Genos goes through, but like, no, I think it's fair to say that she did get a design difference. But like, I still wouldn't consider that like overly fan servicey, or even I wouldn't even consider it in the category of fan service. That's why I'm like, if we're to really consider fan service and then say that One Punch Man or measure the level of fan service in One Punch Man, like, is it really high? Like, is seeing maybe we were getting a little overboard with like the Psychos and the Sairochi stuff. Like, damn.
Yeah, I don't think it's high.
Where's the we in this?
It's mostly like just like the angles and stuff like that will make you think that. But like, for example, like Fubuki is just curvy and whatnot. She could literally just stand there and it can entice somebody. That's just how it is. That wouldn't be fan service though.
That's what I'm saying. You're like, I don't know. I can definitely yield to the angles being the what would make you believe that it's fan service or whatever, but I don't know. It's not enough for me. Like, you get similar angles, if not more angles, of the men, or in a or what I would consider in a non-sexual sense. Like, you get all kinds of like angles of Saitama or like badass heroes or Garou. Like, bruh, there were even jokes, bruh. Like, the entirety of the Reddit community had like, and still to this day has those whatchamacallit, the back jokes about Garou's back, like flexion, like the strongest back in the anime. Like, shit, like, like that's, we get some pretty, what you would even call female fan service.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bruh. I don't know.
It don't gotta be just for the females though. I seen you get bricked up a couple of times.
Hey, bro. Like, what the fuck, Satsuki, bro? Like, what? You see me get bricked up? What?
Hey, the voice starting to get a little hoarse. You start to tense up. I see it.
Not looking at Fubuti, baby. Yeah, Fubuti, nothing else.
Mistake.
Look, bro.
Atomic.
Whoa, bro. Listen.
Hey, that's not me. That's you.
Acknowledging greatness is not getting bricked up for like what? Like, nah, bro. I be dropping facts about Atomic. He be dropping facts
Satsuki was describing what he saw and what he heard, and I've been hearing the same thing when you talk about Atomic.
Listen, bro. Satsuki be seeing shit, bro. Let me just put it like that. Satsuki be seeing shit.
I do.
So
I need to go to a doctor.
Yeah, bro. You can't even trust what. He don't even wear glasses. Look, he wearing glasses, bro. He's wearing glasses. How can we trust anything he sees? He's wearing glasses, bro. Come on.
If anything, I trust the person with the glasses. He got 20/20. We got like 1918 over here.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works. All right. Let's get it popping then. Yo! What's going on, boys? 179. Good, bad, a continuation of greatness, an expansion of mediocrity, a low ball of what we just gotten. In my head, I'm thinking that I'm like, I just got out of a big ass fucking arc, of a big ass arc in the Monster Association fight. So I'm still up here in terms of like expectations and hype for fights. So it's the fact that we have these two individuals that are still top tier, that normally in any other circumstance we'd be like, oh yeah, they finna fade. Does the context, am I right to say that the context is like taken away from this fight? Like, before anybody gets into any of that, what did you guys think of the chapter? Like the video, boys, subscribe. What's going on?
I thought this chapter overall was decent to good. It's going in a route that we expect. So I don't think there's much to talk about with this chapter, but there's a little something there to it. But overall, it's a fine chapter.
Yeah, I think I agree. We know kind of where this chapter was gonna go. So I enjoyed the interactions we got. I enjoyed where it's going. I thought it was a pretty good chapter, and I'm excited to see where we're gonna go next.
Yeah, just a fun chapter. Not much to add. I enjoyed watching Saitama and Tatsumaki interact with each other. Their personalities clashing was very fun. Not a lot that made nothing major happened, but that's okay. I read it and I was like, I had a good time with this. I don't need much more from this fight, but I'm quite happy with what we got.
Am I supposed to like? So you guys remember in the beginning of the Garou and Saitama fight, right? Saitama drops down behind Garou at that iconic panel, bro, where Garou just turns around and starts looking at him, right? Then in the beginning of the fight, or at the next consecutive panels of that fight, we see Garou dodge and Saitama punches, bro. Just ding, 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 ding. Counterattacking, and then one time he just smacks him to the ground, bro. Busts damn near half the coast, smacking Cape Baldy to the ground, right? We were like, bro, is the whole continent busted? It was crazy how hard he slammed Saitama to the ground. And this was the beginning of the fight. But then we saw what Caped could really do. Then we saw the narrator call him damn near Caped Mountain. So, am I supposed to be gleaming feats for Tatsumaki? Just like I gleamed feats or like pulled feats out of the Garou fight for Garou? Is it not like fair to do the same thing, that anything she accomplishes here should also be hype? Like, how am I supposed to be taking this in terms of like measuring Tatsumaki's capabilities?
I don't think this fight is an exhibition, a sparring match, because it's between two heroes, and there's not really true. Well, I won't say not any animosity, because we know how Tatsumaki is, but we don't expect her animosity to even result in any defeat or anything. Because of Saitama and because of the characters involved, I don't think. I mean, like, you're going to see different things from them. We saw the tornado and whatnot. We saw, Saitama dodging attacks, countering, all this stuff. But I don't think this fight is meant to be. I don't think the focus of the fight is necessarily the fight itself. And I don't think because of that you're supposed to take away feats or anything like that. It's more of a character driven narrative that we have here.
I want to add this, just so you can rebuttal, and then everybody else can address both of those points. Because I agree with that 100%. But if this were any other hero, they would have died by now. Like, and this wasn't like, it's not like you can lean on the argument that like she sees how strong he is, so that's why she's fighting at this level. Like, she was trying to kill him from the beginning. The shit she was doing would have killed a hero of that caliber a long time ago. So like, she's not. I don't know how to phrase this. Maybe we should just continue. Like, I'm basically trying to get at that. Like, Saitama's softening the stakes to this to the point where I would agree that it's primarily going to be just about character building, but it's not as if she isn't there posing a threat as well. Like, she's trying to bring this to the next level. He's just not letting her. She's trying to escalate it, and she may just be covering it or it. Go ahead. I'll get to that later. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to speak on that point, or you want
Hey, whoever,
everybody else?
it don't matter.
All right, Matt, Sundown. One of y'all can go.
Yeah. Yes, I think I agree with Satsuki where the Garou Saitama fight was just on another level because of the tension, what was at stake, and kind of it started off relatively similar in the sense of Saitama was kind of non-confrontational. He wasn't really putting in too much effort until Genos got killed. Spoiler alert. And yeah, so unless Tatsumaki really steps it up to a level like that, because even in this fight, we see Saitama quite literally saying, "Yeah, I'm just going to be here and kind of try and wear her out, let her just kind of vent all her anger out on me, and just kind of chill for a bit." So he's seeing this as kind of a waste of his time more than anything, just another inconvenience caused by one of the sisters he doesn't like so much. And I kind of understand where you were going with the sense of, had this been anybody else, Tatsumaki would have killed them like 3 times over by now.
And it would have been
and I
a
don't-
serious situation. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. That like, we can chalk it up to just being about character development, which I agree with for the most part. Or if we want to ignore this point, but this motherfucker would have died if it was Stinger.
Yep. Yeah, so it would have been toast if it was anybody else apart from Saitama. Now, does that mean that Tatsumaki's going hard on him? Yeah, I think so, in the sense of she's going harder than she would on a normal person. But I think she's also made the judgment based off of the fact that he survived the initial attack, which would have killed him. That whole kind of hole that she bored through the wall, and kind of just traveled across the map. So once she saw that, she was like, "Yeah, he can probably take most of what I can do at this kind of level." So I think she's made an educated guess, which is the first attack didn't kill him, so none of these will kill him. Now, the only thing that makes me wonder is if the first attack had killed him, would she have been okay with that? So then it kind of casts a little bit of a shadow on Tatsumaki, and like, I don't know about that, but yeah.
She's a fucking demon, bro, willing to kill allies, like, for no goddamn reason because of her anger. Like,
I mean, she was kind of hinting she was going to kill the Fubuki group as well, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the direction the fight is going to go, unless like she pushes Saitama, just like how Garou pushed Saitama. The only thing I could think of that might do that is obviously the only thing he's got kind of some vendetta against her is obviously she's the reason he doesn't have a house. And I don't think Saitama would snap at her like that, but like if he was to be like, have a moment where it's like, my life was there and you've just uprooted it and taken it away from me. That's the only reason I could think of Saitama actually doing something like having to vent out and take it to the next level a bit. But as he said, like, he doesn't even want this fight. At this point, he just wants to go home. He's done with it already. Like, I don't really know where this is going to go from here in terms of, because at the moment, she's just like trying to test him. She's like, I guess I'll go a bit harder on you. I guess I'll go a bit harder on you. But I guess it'll, as we know, well, I say I don't know where it's going. It will get to the point where she's going to have to do something, and Saitama's going to come back, and she's like, "Oh, I don't have anything else to do for you." So, in terms of like your feet question, Grimm, we might see something from Tatsumaki that we haven't seen before because it's Saitama. So, like, Saitama in a way is the ultimate punching bag. Like, a character can go all out against Saitama. We can see whatever they need to do at their like peak, or like, because we know Saitama's going to survive it. So we might see something from her that we haven't seen. That might be like, if you want to consider that a feat, yeah, definitely. I don't know what she'd do, but if there's any person to do it, it's now.
I think what Grimm brought up though with Tatsumaki not exactly knowing that her attacks wouldn't kill him is important, because I think we talked about it last podcast, and Sundown already brought it up with what she was going to do to the Fubuki group. And the title that comes into play, like what I said right there, comes into play with the title of the chapter, which is Witnesses. Because we got witnesses to this fight and what Tatsumaki did previously, I think there actually is going to be some consequences for what she's doing. And her being involved with the fight with Saitama, what it's going to mean is that this fight isn't going to result in any death or anything like that, which is good for her because it means that she won't be too far gone. But if she were to kill Saitama, that would be like a permanent mark on her record to where she couldn't take that back. And I think she's already going to have a lot of baggage when she gets to the Hero Association because she's done a lot of things on her downright villainous or evil, if you want to go that far. So there being witnesses and seeing what she's willing to do to someone just because of their association of Fubuki, I think it's just to show you that she is going to have hell to pay and questions to answer for the Hero Association, because this is not how a hero should conduct themselves.
I've always considered Tatsumaki unapproachable.
Yeah.
Like Sitch wouldn't. Now, don't get me wrong, because that's something that we have to consider here eventually within this multi-part fight of Tatsumaki versus Saitama, like the consequences of the future. But like, she does go to the meetings. She is a very active hero, as we saw in Tatsumaki's day off. So like, to a certain degree, even if maybe informally Sitch may have a relationship with her that makes her unapproachable, like he will never try to reprimand Tatsumaki, but I don't know, maybe like professionally, like maybe he can, like maybe it'll be some type of development or change for like Sitch. Maybe like eventually we will see Sitch cower in front of Tatsumaki, like, because that could be development for him. We don't really get development for Sitch, and he is an essential, if not a favorite character. I like Sitch. He's been here since the beginning, bro. He's the continuing connecting factor amongst all the different portions of the story that was just revealed to us recently. Like, not only was Sitch involved way back then when God was fucking around with Blast, but right now for the future, the motherfucker who's claiming like the prophecy type shit, like, oh, like he's not bullshitting. Like, there's some shit out there, bro. Like, there's some shit, and low key, bro, like deep in the bottom of my heart, there's some doubt as to whether the prophecy is really referring to God. Like, what if it's not? What if it's something else out there, bro? Like, I don't even know. So, like, to give Sitch a chance to develop, that would be a great way to do it. First off, just mentioning that. But I would love to see what the actual consequences of this are going to be for Tatsumaki. This is, as far as we can tell, the most catastrophic event that's happened in to the association, the destruction of A City. Nothing like that has ever happened since in the existence of the association. And what was the response? To mobilize Meta Knight to create a facility, a fortress of defensive magnitude, man, that he himself has boasted. And what has happened? Solely due to Tatsumaki and other psychics and other bullshit going on here. Mainly Tatsumaki. The entire facility, the integrity, physical integrity, the word of mouth or the reputation of the defensive capabilities of the facility, of the Hero Association itself, has all been questioned in one event, in one sequence, due to Tatsumaki. So, I guess it would be interesting to consider weighing the importance and bottom line power that Tatsumaki brings to the association versus the detrimental effects that she just brought upon the group.
Yes, just like you said, is measuring what her production is versus what your tolerance is at this point, because she's the second ranked hero. Obviously, you want to keep her around. You don't want to. I don't even know if they would consider just stripping her of being a hero or something like that, because then you kind of risk her turning on you. That's how volatile she is. But there has to be something done. She can't. You can't get away with this much offenses. You know, like some heroes can run wild and do whatever they want to do, but this is to a different level because it's affecting their bottom line and their reputation.
Who has ever been reprimanded?
That I remember?
Who?
Oh,
Purry's been reprimanded. He goes to prison all the time.
That's true. Yeah, he had to go. He had to go.
Yeah, see, at this point though, that's not even a reprimanding for him. That's a.
To be fair, I don't know if they put him there. He decided to go there. That was to be fair. Say that so.
He did.
But we know heroes get up to shady stuff as well. We know Flashy assassinated like a load of the underworld.
Well,
and as far as we know, like the heroes don't know about that.
Well, that's because they attacked him, quote unquote.
Yeah,
they attacked him.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. We don't know everything. Yeah. The Heroes Association is just shady.
Have there been other heroes reprimanded? Like, have we? There's not even a consequence for heroes doing anything.
But at the same time, I don't think any
there's no heroes that I can genuinely think of that have done something like really bad. Like they've done like small stuff, but it's always been like, you know, it's like Hero Hunt. It's like the tank tops to Saitama early on. It's not like bad. It's just like a bit of like newbie pushing and bullying and stuff. There's been no real heroes who's been like, I'm doing this for like. There's always personal gain, but not like in a way that's really going to negatively impact someone.
Yeah.
But I'll just quickly say about Sitch as well. Like, Sitch always will, even like after this, I know you want character development for Sitch, but Sitch is very much like the big picture guy. Like for him, more than anything, it's I work with Blast, and Blast wants to stop God, and that's on one priority. We know he's got no problems with recruiting people from different pasts, because like at the beginning of the Garou arc, he got loads of criminals together and said, "Work with us. We want to defeat God." It's not a heroes versus villains; it's a humanity versus God thing. So even he probably let all of Tatsumaki's things slide because she's really powerful. She's going to be super useful in the fight. That's always like Sitch's number one priority is I can let small things go as long as the big picture. And maybe that would change, like, because he's got to try and keep everyone on the same side. And that's going to be the most important thing to him. But right now, power is key for him.
Okay, then let me propose this. What was the association willing to do just to protect Narinki casually? Who did they send? Metal Bat. Not an A-class. They sent Metal Bat just to casually protect Narinki and Wagamba. It's Narinki and Wagamba, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're willing to dedicate that level of resource, a resource that the association saw as an innovation to the game, to the little industry, by saying that these heroes can take on demons alone. They're separate. Do your thing, bro. Gave them a whole special allocation and everything. Like, they're willing to allocate those type of resources to protecting those types of resources. Narinki, that guap. Yeah, that big money. You already know what it is. That big money Narinki, nigga. They're willing to do that. So, what happens when Tatsumaki starts to bring into doubt the bottom line? Like, we saw how they were out there selling monsters, selling psychos to groups for donations and shit, bro. Like, it's about a big money game, bro. There's guap to be made with these demons and dragons and monsters, and they finna get it. The association finna get it. So, Matt, you're telling me that stocks for the association wouldn't drop when the greatly allotted, the greatly advertised fortress that is the Hero Association headquarters was finally opened up to the commoners, to the rich, the executives, to the citizens, for them to come through, and there's not going to be a negative consequence? Like,
maybe, but you have to remember, like, Tatsumaki's always been described as the one, you know? Like, she's the person. When everyone else fails, Tatsumaki's there standing. It's like if you've got a sports team, yeah? If, like, you've got a star player who's constantly scoring for you, and their personal life, not the best, but they're out there winning every time, they're not necessarily just going to go, okay, get out of here. We don't want you here anymore. They're going to keep them on. There'll be some negative consequences, but you're not going to get rid of one of your star players that easily.
I think if there is going to be somebody who tests the limits of what you can do as a hero, is going to be Tatsumaki. She is testing it, my boy. Man.
And actually, last chapter we brought up, Satsuki was saying this chapter is called Witnesses. Last chapter we were talking about how there were specific panels and pages where they were kind of showcasing the reactions of major people who are living at the Hero Association headquarters. So they're showing like the kids, major stakeholders and all that type of stuff, chair people, all that good stuff. And even in this chapter, we get the first few pages and then kind of sporadic through the chapter where we see what looks like Murata's version of Android 18 and Recruim, like just kind of married in this universe. But we still see that kind of citizen level. Well, citizen level. These guys are meant to be like super wealthy. But that showcasing again of the citizen level reaction to an S-class hero who's being incredibly volatile. And this is right outside of the association. So like even they're talking about how, you know, this must be a really a really spicy situation, essentially a really negative situation for the Hero Association because it's happening right outside, and they're concerned about it. So I think kind of what everyone's been saying anyway. I think the Hero Association is going to suffer major reputational damage from something like this, but it really depends on what that means. Like we're saying, is Tatsumaki kind of just walk away scot free because she's Tatsumaki and she's essentially the face of the organization, or are they going to have to do something about it because they've suffered so much reputational damage where people start to say it's not safe to live here, we're going to go elsewhere, and then there's kind of, if they don't trust the Hero Association, what they're saying is they don't trust the S class to protect them from events like this. And if they don't believe in the S class to do that, then who do they turn to? Will they turn to somebody else? Is there somebody else they can turn to? And then if they have to reprimand Tatsumaki because of something like that, what happens in that situation? Do they strip her of power? How would Tatsumaki react? And then is it a case of, Tatsumaki being in a position where she's annoyed at the Hero Association, and then suddenly someone like God comes at her with a contract? That would be interesting.
What do you do, Sundown? You're in the Hero Association executive. You have your task with letting Tatsumaki know this is unacceptable behavior. What do you do? You have all the power in this situation. You're Roger Goodell.
It's a sticky one, because how do you tell Tatsumaki that you're going to put controls in place for her to not do what she's doing? Because she's Tatsumaki, right? She's literally, not only is she bringing in probably a lot of the sponsorships, money, all that type of stuff because of her efficiency and because of her work ethic, but also she's too damn powerful for you to say, don't do this thing. It'd be like going to Goku and saying, I don't want you to fight. And Goku will be like, kiss my ass. So
Classic Goku.
So it's one of those situations where I think they can try and do something, but unless they get one of the S-class heroes that she respects, so maybe the Bangs, the Kings, who else does she Blast himself, unless one of those three specifically, I think, maybe there's one or two others, comes to her and says, hey, you need to stop doing this, I don't think there's going to be anybody else that can tell her to stop. Besides, of course, if Saitama bodies her.
I was say, I'm getting King to mediate that meeting. I need someone there just to even just sit there, keep her calm.
I need to see that. But what kind of punishment do you think they would even like levy on her?
Bro, what would even be effective?
I mean, the only way they could truly hurt, well, the only thing that they could possibly do is just not pay her like a suspension or some kind. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's going to get to the level where they're going to like, you're not a hero. She's too powerful for you to not have her on your team. But it has to be something. And usually what in real life, what they do with players like if they were like Tatsumaki, like of that same level, you suspend them, you fine them, something like that. I think that's what they would do, but I don't know if that type of punishment doesn't really meet the crime.
It would apply to a player, but this is a being of a massive power. Like she's basically a nuclear weapon in the form of a girl, right? Just with the things she can do. The only way you could really punish her.
I think I may disagree with that claim now, but go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. The only way you could really punish her is, I guess, to make her like listen, because otherwise, like you could just say you're not gonna pay her, not go like you spend it. She won't listen to that. It's only if it affects Fubuki she'd listen in some regard. Like if something was to happen, not like in a bad way, not like oh we're gonna hurt Fubuki because obviously that's not gonna work. But like if it's like okay, we're gonna do certain things to Fubuki, so she basically cannot function as a hero. Like maybe like take away financial support from Fubuki. You know, the Blizzard Group probably costs a lot of money to make that group run. You know, it's like it'd be a shame if we had to let go some of those heroes.
That's a nice limo.
Yeah. If anything, it'd be things that would affect Fubuki that maybe Tatsumaki go, I'll step back. Just leave Fubuki alone. But even then, that's like Tatsumaki's crazy.
Oh, they could do something like freeze her ranking or something. Which maybe Tatsumaki doesn't necessarily care about Fubuki moving up in that ranking, but knowing that Fubuki does care about that, then that might get her to listen.
Yeah, I mean the only other option would be as a workaholic, you stop them from working. But is that really the best option for Tatsumaki? Because then that would mean A lot of people are in danger, and then B, would she actually stop working? Because
revoke the hero license? Yeah. I mean...
Yeah. But even if they revoked her license, you really think that would stop her?
I mean, so here's what they haven't brought up yet. The whole status of being a hero. Like, Saitama had the desire in the beginning, right? Remember? Oh, I'm doing it for fun. And like, oh, I mean, yeah, I'm a hero. Type shit. Like, so he had a desire to become a hero. Is that like uniform amongst all the heroes here? Like, to a certain extent, you had to have that desire in order to like join the association in the first place. But does that fade over time? Do people just join the association for like income because they happen to have a certain ability, or like it's easiest to do that? Like,
yeah, I think so. I think with the majority of the higher level heroes, so let's say from like B, A, and S class, I think the majority of them will have started off with more or less pure intentions in the sense of, apart from Saitama, because he's a bit of a wild card. But even Saitama, to an extent, they would have had heroic qualities in the sense of, I want to help people and I want to save people. Now, as you go through the actual rigors of doing that and the difficulties that come with that type of job, then there will be other things that will have kind of pushed people into making sure that they stayed in that field. So an A-class hero might be like, you know what, I really hate the fact that I have to go and fight all these monsters, but it's not only helping people, but it's making me a good load of money. I get my rent paid for, I can live in a city, all that type of stuff. So I think, yeah, that all comes into play once they've established themselves and once they've already proven that they are actually heroes. So maybe it becomes more of a kind of a monetary thing or a kind of a status thing later on in their careers. But initially, I think they would have been kind of focused on their heroic sides.
I mean, you find with a lot of the lower class heroes, not obviously, there's definitely some who want to join in and help out, but a lot of people want like the fame and the fortune that comes with being a hero.
yes.
Like, there's so many of them that just do it because they're like, yeah, of course I want to be a hero. I get it's like being a celebrity, super popular, get super rich. Absolutely.
Remember
Except it's
Mice
more-
competitors?
Mm-hmm. And my competitors, obviously, there's like others. Like I don't know if anyone remembers the side chapter with Red Nose, with the guy who's going to jump off the building, where Red Nose wasn't even focusing on him. He just kept looking at the camera that was on there. He's like, "No, don't jump!" Like he wasn't even looking at the guy. There's plenty of people there who are doing it for the fame. Like Darkness Blade, who's one of my favorite like lower class heroes, is super like I'm the man of. Who's ranked 273. I'm Darkness Blade, and like he's so happy to be that because he gets to
so
show off
bad.
as like the super rookie.
Hell yeah.
But there's so many heroes who are there for it, and like even amongst like the higher class ones, like Bang, I thought only wanted to join to kind of like revive his dojo a bit because obviously after Garou wiped him out.
See for money, you see?
Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised if someone like Mel Knight did it obviously for the funds. I wouldn't be surprised. Puri probably for the boys. Everyone's got like their motivations. Like everyone, very few people are there just to do it. I want to be a hero, and that's it. Okay, I've killed him.
He did it for the boys.
I mean, when Matt said that Puri was like voluntarily in prison, that blew my mind. I was like, he's probably right, dog. Like he probably got his sentence.
He is,
and he probably told him exactly what he did. I'm pleading guilty, bro.
Well,
he did it on purpose.
What was it? He did. He put himself in prison because he thought he'd be the best punishment for them.
I'm pretty sure he stated it at some point.
It is, yeah. It's like in his intro. Yeah.
Yo,
it's like his intro when Sonic goes to prison. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Oh my!
It's not even like Matt like just like having to ride this amazing insight. Puri has literally stated that he would do something like that. That's man.
Nah, this is what the association should have been questioning the association like off rip just from his existence.
Hey,
I'd be forgetting that he's a hero all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all mention, I'll be like, bro, he's really.
It's funny though, because like even with Puri, in the few fights we've seen him in where it's gotten like really, really difficult, and he's like he has to put his foot down and actually go all out. He's actually displayed some really heroic qualities. So you're just like, yo, Puri's a bad man. He's doing some mad things. But then you also remember that he's voluntarily in prison doing certain things to certain guys. To every guy, apparently.
I mean, he's a notorious criminal before he joined. Was he before he joined? I don't know. Shraz says he's basically the Kenpachi of the Hero Association.
Crazy. That's so crazy. Oh my god,
man, bro. Oh shit!
But it goes back to what I said about Sitch. He doesn't care about really what they're like. He cares about what they can do, and we've seen Puri time and time again. He gets knocked down, but he gets back up, and he levels up crazy.
I mean, this was the individual who decided to try and recruit vigilantes and villains to help him in this most perilous of moments against this increase of monster appearances. But I guess there isn't that much evidence in the opposite direction, actually, to say that any consequence of this fight is going to be not only significant but long lasting. I mean, I would definitely love to see that, like, to get an arc where more wrenches are thrown in to change things up.
I mean, we also know Metal Knight's keeping an eye on Saitama as well. So I won't be surprised if he's watching what's going on here too.
Yeah, what I was a little bit not confused about, but interested in this chapter was once again the slight focus on Tatsumaki almost killing the civilians who were driving around in the car on the highway, and Saitama saving them, and then Saitama in a more accidental fashion almost killing the civilians, and then her saving them. So it does make me wonder if there is this slight focus on, well, there does seem to be, because we've all mentioned it kind of individually, this focus on Tatsumaki being particularly volatile to a point where she possibly doesn't even consider people outside of whatever she's doing, in terms of whether it's a fight with a monster, whether it's proving a point to another hero. She doesn't really seem to mind so much about other people until they're kind of pointed out, at which point then she's like saving them just to make a point that she can save them. There's not that kind of, once again, that heroic aspect that Saitama has, which I think is the juxtaposition here, even though we know for sure in the previous arc she was displaying like a whole bunch of heroism. So it's like this weird position where Tatsumaki, in her kind of protective nature for her sister, is displaying some really bad sides of her, I think.
That's a good way to put it. And it is a dynamic that we've seen from her. Like, even in the beginning, whenever Dose showed up, like, it was her tenacity in reference to her sister that, like, pushed her over the edge. So, yeah, it's not fair, bro. Like, you need constant, like, Saitama has to do something here. We know he's gonna put her in her place, right? He's got to do some shit, right?
Yep.
But the only thing I'd say is we know that, like, I don't know how well that would work, because it's not like she needs someone stronger to put her in her place, because we know, as far as we know, I'd assume it too, that Blast is stronger than Tatsumaki, right? But we know, like, he was like a big guardian influence from her, but it's not as if, like, someone stronger than her putting her in her place has necessarily made her change before. Like, that's kind of made her who she is. So it could be that kind of thing again, but we know that, like, necessary power isn't necessarily the only thing that's going to make her kind of reflect on herself.
So for her, I think what would work, rather than someone obviously beating her down into the ground, because that's really not the type of person Tatsumaki is. But what she's always been kind of looking for is that person she can kind of trust. So maybe that's where this is going, to kind of Saitama displays something, maybe something happens in the next couple chapters where she's like, okay, as a result of that, I know at the very least somewhat I can trust him to have maybe my back or maybe Fubuki's back or something like that. So that could be, I suppose, if she sees something in him where she's like develops that level of trust, that's an instant stop to this fight as well.
Oh shit! Get him! Get his ass!
Yeah, that was like the least, like, this guy's got Atomic Samurai as his background, and that was the least atomic reaction I've ever seen in my life.
Man, you gotta
I was surprised, man.
get that car. We got to get the carcass on camera. You got to do that. It ain't over.
Shit.
What I want to say is I don't think Saitama, how he's going to get through to Tatsumaki is through talking to her, just like what we thought was going to happen with Garou, at least initially when they were about to do the sit down thing. I think that's how he gets through to her, but the power is required just because Tatsumaki is not listening to you. Otherwise, if you're a weak person, she's not going to deal with you. You're a nuisance. Just I'm not talking to you. So yeah, I don't think she's going to get beat down or anything like that. It's just a fact of the matter of, if Saitama wasn't this strong, you wouldn't even get to the conversation part. So it's just like a prerequisite for that talk to happen.
Since it's part 2 of the fight, it is appropriate to get into this. How far is she gonna go? Like, we haven't seen her full power. We've seen her get tired. We seen her deflect an earth cutter. After she saved everybody, it was deflected earth cutter, man. One-handed. So we haven't seen her full power. Kinda. I guess you could talk about the earth lift or the base lift or whatever, and like the twist, making the spear and sending her. Sure, but like that was after a long ass fight. She is not exhausted. So Saitama will be pushing her that far. Can last that long. How far is she gonna go?
Interesting question because even in a Psychos fight, she was fighting more defensively because Psychos was on the offense. So this time it's reversed where she is on the attack. So we might be seeing different things from her. Given her ego, I think she's going to go as far as.
And add this into your
environment.
thought. We're in a city, a wasteland as far as the eye can see. Ain't nobody else really getting hurt, but he's the only niggas in danger. Like this is a playground for Murata and destructiveness. Like, what you thinking?
Right, we're going to Mars.
She goes as far as the environment will allow her. Like she will take it to that level because of who she is. We talked about Fubuki's ego last time. I mean, they come from the same family. She has a ego. She's not going to take the whole thing of someone being stronger than her will. Because, like I said, I don't even know if she believes Blast is stronger than her. She may, because that's when he saved her when she was a little kid and whatnot. She's different now. I don't know. She hasn't seen how strong he is, so I don't know if she would even take Blast and coming in there because it's Blast. It's one of those things where I could see it. I could see her just accepting that, but I could see it another way. Yeah, that was when I was a kid, bro. I don't know about all that now. So I don't know. She's not going to take Khan to Saitama though. This bald head nigga, it's not happening.
Man, yeah. So with the whole A City thing, they are in a barren wasteland, and she could take it really far. And we know that her ego is absolutely humongous, and she could pull out the base spear on him again and just smash him into the ground. Now, seeing how close they are in proximity to A City, or the Hero Association, I'm gonna wager that she doesn't go that far. I don't think she'll get to a point where she's pulling out Earth Cutter level stuff, even with her ego. I feel like there's still that base level, even though her base is way lower or higher, which way around it would be. But even though most people wouldn't even have gone this far, I'm pretty sure she also has a threshold where she's like, I'm not gonna start doing world cutter stuff, deflecting world cutter stuff, or Earth cutter stuff, and she's not gonna be doing any of that kind of level of telekinesis or anything like that. I think she'll push to a point and then not past that point.
I really hope you're wrong.
It would be sick if I was wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. What if? Nah, I can't even say that. I was gonna say what if she sends a nigga to Mars, like Matt said, but you can't. You can't. I mean, that would be a good measure, though. That'd be but
Matt's planted in your head.
I said it as a joke, and now he's like, it's happening.
Man, cause she's tough, bro. And when I said that she got tired, to be honest, you can't. It's a fair fight. Together, Psychos and Orochi did that. It was Psychos in the big form that managed to flip her psychic abilities and then spear her through the arms and all that. It was Orochi's surprise attack that managed to at first when he had all his organs everywhere or whatever, to that dragon and beam attack, whatever. It's not as if she wasn't encountering high level attacks to be losing stamina or be getting hurt minorly in that fight. So I can't necessarily just chalk that up as a fluke or something. Tatsumaki was present and fighting the entirety of the arc, from Evil Eye all the way out to Black Sperm. Yeah, she got tired, but she displayed her capabilities. So is it fair to say that deflecting an Earth Cutter and the base lift, turning it into the spear or whatever, that is her full power? That is what she can present? Tatsumaki went all out in that fight, or is there more to see?
I think it's just going back to what they said earlier, where like Tatsumaki was obviously folding her own in that fight, but there was a part of it that was fighting defensively because she couldn't really go all out from the beginning because her whole thing was trying to get people out of the Monster Association. She was trying to get people to safety. And then when she got them out there, once like after Genos helped her out, like she went all out and then she smacked him, like one-handed away the Earth Cutter. Well, not that wasn't even the Earth Cutter, that was just a beam. And then was like, right, okay, let's get serious.
It looked like it.
It was a beam. Like there were many beams shot in that battle. Not all of them were.
Nigga, that was an Earth Cutter, bro. Stop, bro.
We don't know.
Niggas want to downplay Tots, bro. One-handed. That was
what
the
do you
feat.
mean downplay? It doesn't matter. Like that's what's downplaying a beam when she went. Okay, enough of this. That's not downplaying anything. That's amazing.
Listen, bro.
Just because it wasn't an Earth Cutter beam doesn't mean it's not an amazing moment where she's like, okay, these guys who are Orochi and Psychos combined, and she goes, okay, enough's enough now. Boom, and ends them in like a minute. And they can't do anything with it. It's just a minute of them struggling. Orochi dipped. He was like, I'm gone. Bye. Orochi even had King of the Monsters, didn't even hang around to see it through. He hung around to see Saitama. Didn't hang around to see that. Anyway, just basically more offensive power. We'll see what she can do.
So you think she will pass or surpass what she presented up against? Because we're talking about somebody who popped to Jupiter on accident. Like,
These two.
There's room for her to show her abilities.
I think it's also a case of like he basically really have to do something that makes her go, I want to kill him. Because understandably, she's okay with killing monsters, but Saitama's still a human. Like, obviously, like I said, if there's anyone she might want to go all out against him, but she might also be like, he's still a regular guy though. Like he's not a monster who's. He did, yeah, but she also called him a baldy.
I mean, that's what got her like to this stage.
Yeah,
we don't see Tatsumaki like this often. She's pissed.
She's pissed off, but pissed off to I'm going to kill you, kind of. It's not like a monster did that, you know.
Yeah, this is more he's touched a soft spot or like a sore spot, as opposed to, you know, he's threatening.
Oh yeah, he was touching her.
He's threatening the world.
Yeah, he was touching her. Yeah, he was touching her.
Oh man.
No, he wasn't touching her at all in this fight. No, he didn't touch her once in this fight, apart from when they were grabbed her hand.
Yeah, no. He was touching her. He was touching her.
You were reading a different chapter. You were reading a different manga.
Hey, Satsuki's frozen, bro. Look at it.
Becky.
Oh, this nigga just come back in.
Huh? What happened?
You're lagging a bit.
Oh, am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh, I was saying,
Damn, he lagged out again.
That was the best time for it to lag. That was perfect timing to lag.
Oh shit.
He just looks really sad there. It's basically like
before that fight. What happened? Am I lagging out again?
Yeah, you lagged out for the whole of what you just said there.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
Hold on, Discord holding me.
Leave and come back.
Got you.
You just froze again on him. Take these screenshots. So let take these screenshots.
With his Mac in my background as well.
I don't know. I kind of want to lean towards what you were saying, Sundown, that like she's gonna hold back to a certain extent at a certain point. I am still wondering where that point is, but I would love to see her go all out. Like, and it would almost kind of require Saitama to get offensive, and it's not as if he won't. Like, we saw what with a single request, he was willing to do for Genos. Like he showed him a serious punch, but held it back. So what is he gonna do to put Tatsumaki in her place? We saw what he did to Rover.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's. I don't think with her a display of power will be enough to stop her, unless it's like to the point where Matt was saying, where she realizes, for instance, if he tanks
he can kill her?
already. No, not even that. It's got to be something where she realizes she can't kill him, So like I feel like with other people, there might be a variety of people who could like just sneak up on her and kill her, and if
Okay.
she doesn't have like her abilities up. But if she can't kill him, that's a different kind of thing that she has to process, where she's not physically capable of doing something, and I think in her life, she's physically capable of doing anything.
Okay, because I would agree with that because the monster that was coming after her in the flashback, that was threatening to kill her. So she's had that feeling before, and she was almost about to get killed right now, just recently by Sairochi. So she's had that more than once at least. But you're right, there hasn't been anything that she hasn't been able to kill. So you're right, yeah. That would even allow Saitama to be defensive the entire time, like he has been so far. So okay, that's that would almost force Murata or one's hand into considering or pushing Tatsumaki into a crazy level. Then, like, she would have to display her full capabilities. Then,
Yeah, but that's where I'm like, where I'm not sure she would go that far, because there would have to be like a switch in her, like a flip in her personality, where it would be, I'm testing him to now I want to kill him. And I don't think that would be really strange for her to say, there's a human in front of me, he's a hero, he hasn't really done anything besides call me a midget, and now I want to kill him. So I really don't see that from Tatsumaki, no matter like how pissed she gets. Because then it's like, we were talking about reputational damage before, they're in a city, the kind of graveyard of where Boros and the space pirates came down. The last thing the Hero Association needs is for one of the main heroes in that whole fight, which was Tatsumaki, to come and actually replay the whole thing and do her own kind of version of it, where she's now attacking Saitama and causing like all these craters and stuff to pop up, causing earthquakes and stuff like that. If that happened, she would be like Boros the Second Coming, which would be once again horrible for the Hero Association.
yeah. You good, Suzuki?
I don't know. Discord gods.
Yeah,
Who I got to talk to?
you bet.
Who I got to talk to? Am I good?
Yeah, you bet.
Bro, I don't know. Hey, bro, if it start lagging out, tell me immediately, bro.
We did.
I damn near gave a whole MLK speech and they just hold me like that. I don't like that.
We did, bro. We did.
Okay. You did? I swear I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah, bro. It's in the stream. It's in the stream.
Bro. Y'all like froze. All right. What I was saying for the third time is I'm looking back at the Saitama versus Fubuki fight, right? Am I good? Did it go through? That went through, right? I'm good?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
yeah,
You're
we
good.
good.
You're
Okay.
fine. You're fine.
Okay. All right. So I look back at that, and Fubuki was not going to stop fighting in this fight. She threw everything she had with him, and then she pulled out the box cutter. And at no point was she going to relent. Saitama even gets in her face and says the whole thing of don't diss heroes. She still kept fighting. The only thing that stopped her from fighting is when Saitama and Genos Sonic and Genos interrupt the fight. Genos basically tells or lets Fubuki in on the fact that he is a disciple of Saitama, and then she looks at it like an S class is your disciple. So given that relationship that they have and obvious power difference, that's what stopped her from fighting. Given Tatsumaki's character, I think she's going to take it to that level of like she can control her power, but given that Saitama's going to be like the ultimate, I think you said it, Matt, like punching bag, he can take whatever she can dish out. So because of that, I think she's going to go super far in this fight to the point that if anybody else was in that situation, they just straight up dying, S class and all.
Do you think what will cause the fight to stop is it'll be a mirror of that fight where maybe Tatsumaki's losing control, she's out of control, sets off an attack, it's going to hurt Fubuki. Tatsumaki's like, uh-oh, what have I done? And just like in that fight, it's like a mirror of that image where Saitama's standing in front of the blast. And like it's just clearly damaged everything except for behind Saitama. And then, because she's very much like, how can you protect my sister? Blah, blah, blah. And then if that's the moment, she's like, oh, okay.
It could very well be. It could very well be that if Fubuki stays in the Hero Association, she doesn't move from that point. But yeah, I think it could get to that level because I just don't see what Saitama could say that could stop Tatsumaki because he couldn't stop Fubuki. Not saying he couldn't stop her, but he couldn't stop her through words.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, Tatsumaki's not listening to him at all. She got no interest in talking to him.
Yo, Kishin.
What's good, Kishin?
Utak no jutsu.
How'd you feel about the chapter, bro?
Oh, it was fun. Sorry I was late. Traffic.
All good.
Yeah, this chapter was maybe not as much as I thought it was originally going to be. I was expecting even more action, but then again, it felt short. How many pages? Only 36. But it was a real good action piece. Just being in a wasteland is always kind of fun when you're using these massive powers. So you can't really see certain power scaling, but considering we know these two characters pretty well, it's still a good setting so that they don't wreck a whole city in what amounts to a tantrum. I swear, how did she not realize how powerful he is? I mean, he only flies backwards because he wasn't holding on to her. The bitch be crazy. She's gone to psycho levels.
How do you if you had to punish Tatsumaki for destroying the headquarters, what would you do to her? If you pretend like you were Sitch and you had to punish her some way, somehow, what would you do? Take away, give, try, say, what would happen once Tatsumaki destroyed the association?
It's a tough one. Because just about anything you do could lead to some kind of ramification. Because, you can't really, say, oh, we're going to do something to Fubuki. Well, that's immediate death right there. So you can't even use her weak point because it will just make her stronger. Let's see. I don't think you could, reduce or take fees out of her payments. Because she'd be like, really, you're going to do that? Well, let me just slowly collapse this room around you until my bank account goes back to normal.
You're dirty, bro. That's what you think
I'm
she'd
not
do?
sure.
When has she ever shown that much
van with 3 people in it? As in was like, I'm going to throw it. So, I don't know what you could do to her. Because, if it wasn't for the influence of Blast, I wonder what she would be like normally, Like, on a natural course with no guiding light. Sure, she'd still take care of Fubuki, but it's like, Tatsumaki, rogue psychic. But yeah, I'm not sure what we could do to any kind of punishment.
Do you think that because Saitama's cock diesel, do you think she's gonna pull out all the stops in order to flex on him? Or do you think that once she feels like he's tough enough, she'll just stop? Do you think that she has to realize that she can't kill Saitama in order to stop?
I could believe that she'll start pulling out some of the stuff that we saw between her and Psychos. Especially considering the area that they're in. They're far enough away from the Hero Association and there's only like one road, so it's not like there's going to be any casualties, and there's no other structures around. I think she's gonna show her worth, and Saitama's just going to fucking play around, and she's going to be like, "This guy just taunting me, or is what's going on?" She's going to get really confused.
Do you think?
Because unlike, what? I think he's going to keep the whole airbender stance of evasion and defensive maneuvers. Because he doesn't have to hurt her. She'll wear her ass out. It's like, God damn it, now I gotta use more power to see. Okay, let's see what this does. Like, half the desert just gets destroyed every move she makes, and it's like, damn it. Okay, more power. 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, fine. Fuck it. 110%. Then just like what you guys said, it's like all that'll be left is whatever was behind Saitama, and then she'll be like, the fuck are you? Mhm. Than a puppy when it came up to him.
No, I mean, like,
I think you forgot about Monaco, mate.
yeah, Monaco, and then like half the. He didn't kill the cyborg gorilla thing. Though I suppose maybe not a monster, kind of.
Yeah, but when I can't. I mean, he's a threat level, you know.
Let's do
I
this.
feel that's fair.
Let's do this. Let's count. Let's go. One. Like
Yeah, so armored gorilla he didn't kill. Though
Monaco, he was
maybe-
like, "You're cool. I like you."
I need a guide for this maze that I'm apparently in right now.
You didn't kill Rover.
he didn't kill Rover.
He just told his ass to sit with a fist.
Didn't kill
And he
Garou.
didn't. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, exactly. He didn't kill monsterified Garou.
okay. So do I have to count on the monsters that he has killed?
It's not that, maybe. You said he slaughtered every single monster who's coming to his path.
With extreme
bro.
prejudice, is what he
Prejudice.
said.
Damn, yeah, bro.
He just
Yeah.
turned around
Did
and
he
was
did he talk
"You
to even
smell
Natural
those
Water? Did he give him a
goddamn
chance?
monsters?"
Did he give even Natural Water a chance? Did he do that? No. He just clapped that
I mean,
motherfucker.
if I saw a tsunami coming with eyes and I had Saitama's abilities, dude, there would be no conversation. It wouldn't be a case of, oh, you look cute, as opposed to Rover, who was barking, and he's like, oh, maybe a dog.
I mean, and also it did kind of put that naval ship in danger, so he was probably looking out for civilians. Maybe.
Whatever we want to claim. All right. So we'll end off with this because I do want to consider this. We've seen the Earth Cutter. Excuse me. We saw the spear she used to break into Orochi. We've seen her lift the coast to stop a tsunami. We've seen her deflect an Earth Cutter. We've seen her twist the entirety of an underground base and lift it. We've seen her. With cheeks in the corner from below. When the wind blows, the cheeks. We've seen her. So, we've also seen Sage Centipede. We've also seen Super Alloy Garou splatter Evil Natural Great Lake. We've also seen whatchamacallit, Sage Garou just smack the hell out of Saitama, send him to the earth, crack a whole landmass bit. Like, does demon form Garou or yeah, does monster form? No, that's right. Demonic Garou. Does demonic Garou have a chance to beat Tatsumaki, or does only Cosmic have a chance? We know Cosmic claps for sure, but like, is Cosmic versus Tatsumaki a fight? Like, is demonic Garou when he was in his demon form before like he got blessed by God? Like, is that one the only like? Is he competition already? Like, is the Garou that was fighting Sage, is he competition for Tatsumaki? Like, given what we know about her, Garou versus Tatsumaki.
So which Garou you specifying in this? You said not Cosmic, right?
Yeah, I think he's the stage before where he was like fairly large and like was morphing his body and
But,
stuff.
Grimm, are you on about the stage where he's fighting Platinum and Flashy? Or are you on about the stage where he starts fighting Saitama?
Yeah, so I think it's all forms before he hits like cosmic level. So I would say personally, any form below cosmic, Tatsumaki probably beats. Tatsumaki does beat.
Is this mic on? Is this mic on?
His,
Can y'all hear me clear?
his mic has died, but he's nodding, so I think we're on the right line. But his mic died.
Can you hear me though? Sundown, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Matt, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're fine, mate. You're good.
Kishin, can you hear me? Grimm, can you hear me? The stream, can you hear me? I bet my house on Tatsumaki. Every time. I bet my fucking life on Tatsumaki. Y'all know what it is. I've been like this since day one. I've been trying to tell y'all. It's Tatsumaki every time.
You got Tatsumaki over Cosmic Garou?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say over the Garou right before he was blessed.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Now.
I was gonna say.
I'm not.
I mean, like,
I'm not
Demon,
insane.
like, full Monster Garou, I guess, is comparable to Tatsumaki. Like, obviously, when he he basically turned a mountain inside out and lifted a continent up. So we can't ignore that.
Hey.
But I would still give it to Tatsumaki.
Listen, Tatsumaki gonna have a flashback about Fubuki. I have to do it for my sister. Hold up. Just wait. Hold up.
Oh shit. Damn, that'd be crazy. Sundown?
Yeah, I went first. I agreed with Satsuki.
Okay. Same with you, Matt. Like, demonic Garou.
Yeah, it gives a decent fight, but it's like Sairochi stuff, you know. Sairochi cut off a bit of the earth, and it's still Tatsumaki blasted them.
That's crazy, bro. Y'all boys. Damn. Because most people... Shit, I can't even say that. Huh?
So I'm a Tatsumaki stan. You know where I stand with her. I'm giving her the benefit of the
You
doubt.
to change your name then.
What's my name?
Tatsumaki the Savage.
Oh no! Oh no! That's a little too far. That's a little too far. Sasuke can't even the GOAT. But within this series, I'm giving Tatsumaki the benefit of the doubt, with the exception of Saitama and of course the highest level we've seen Garou. And
hey, tighten up, bruh! Hey, tighten up! And blast! And blast! Go ahead! And blast! No, you tripping, boy! And blast, nigga! Bro, Cosmic can't even beat Blast. I got money on Blast over Cosmic, bro. I got money on Blast over Cosmic. The Cosmic that first got blessed, the Garou that first walked out with bro, I got money on Blast over Garou. Bro, I
didn't say nothing. Bro, I didn't say nothing.
You tripping.
I'm not gonna say a word. I'm not saying a word.
Tripping, bro.
I'm not saying a word.
God, there are individuals who. Oh my God.
I'm not saying a word.
This is a problem. This is a problem. Garou literally hit a whole combo piece, a whole nuclear combo piece on Blast. Ain't nothing touch him. Ain't nothing. Garou never touched Blast. Garou never touched Blast. He would have weaved it. Garou was bodying. Excuse me. I mixed it up. That was Blast.
Did you
Blast
ever
was piecing him up. Go ahead.
did you ever take into account that Blast might not hit women?
Listen, bro, he's not Sanji. Stop.
He just makes a pull, mate. They hit themselves.
He is not Sanji.
For a second, I thought you were talking about Garou, and I was like,
Oh no.
Yeah, he is women. Yeah, he is women.
Yeah. I'm not with that. I'm
Don't
not
tear
going
off their
to
own
take
arm
into
and make
account.
them beat themselves with it. That's the
Hey, I'm not saying nothing though. No comment.
All right. So that's pretty much a good setup or a good breakdown.
"Oh wait, we missed one thing, big man.
Mhm.
One thing, the whole Mr. Apollo thing.
Oh, we got
Our
his name.
Our boys, Tsukuyomi
Yeah, Mr.
and his
Paulo.
boy, they
He has
escaped.
been fully introduced.
I think, what do they call him, Mr. Apollo? Was it?
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they done
It makes
escape.
you wonder.
Well,
Is there like a pantheon naming scheme for other members of Tsukuyomi then? Or a god notion? Because Tsukuyomi is a god itself. Apollo is also a god. So
is there a Zeus?
I would assume it would be of celestial bodies,
Well,
I
it-
also
given that
thought it
the
was to do with,
organization name.
so Apollo is more of the. It's not the. It's not Greek as the
He's
other.
the god of the sun. Greek mythology.
No, but there are two different sets of gods, right? It's not like
Yes.
Zeus is not part of the same set as Apollo, right?
There they are.
He
They
is.
are. Okay.
That's his father.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
uh,
fucked a woman, had twins. It was Zeus's thing back in the big four times.
Fucking women and having twins. That's a thing. Now
Oh,
as
he
well.
fucked admitting having about half of the Earth's population because just about everyone's like, "Oh, I'm the son or daughter of a god." They were all fucking around.
Especially Zeus, yeah, and he wasn't always doing
I
it
bet
as
you
a,
would, too.
as a dude either.
If Zeus came down and was like, "Hey, you would."
No, it wasn't the case.
Oh,
of,
he had the habit of turning
Hey,
women into other
Hey,
things.
hey, listen, that's not what I
To
said,
hide
bro.
From Hera.
What I said
This
was that
man
if
on
Zeus
another
came
level of
down
cheating.
and was like, "Hey, you would."
I don't
no,
know.
dude, it
What
was
are
a
you
case
talking
of
about?
if
Y'all
lightning
niggas would.
strikes, you run.
Nah,
You don't stay in that area.
Not me, I wouldn't, but y'all niggas, y'all would.
Well, believe me, he did all kinds of shit. He would turn women into animals just so Hera wouldn't know about them and try to kill them. Or he would transform into like their husband or something so that it was like, hey, she's gonna have sex with me because I'm her man. Okay, well, there you go.
That boy a freak.
Zeus dirty.
He was.
Bro. Yeah.
Zeus done
What
it.
happened when you're immortal in the god of things?
Yeah.
You know, you tend to do stupid shit to fill your time.
All right. Tatsumaki is very powerful. Confronting Saitama will never be easy. Not for her. It wasn't for Cosmic. Wouldn't even be for Blast. So, I'm interested to see how far this goes. I'm interested to see, as always, great displays of power as well as great displays of art. I'm anticipating seeing that here in these consecutive chapters for a fight of this magnitude. The community, the webcomic side at least, was like hyping this fight up like to no end. So like, I'm expecting something, but at the same time, we have a better source. So this is leading to like where it's gonna be like we're talking about, where it's probably not gonna be too crazy, but it'll probably be significant enough for us to like be on. But that's my personal prediction. And you guys have heard all the different ideas or possibilities that we believe could happen here. So in the comment section, give us your thoughts. What do you think is going to come out in the ending of Tatsumaki versus Saitama? Like the video, subscribe. There are multiple channels in multiple different venues where you could watch One Punch Man content. All the different individuals here have channels. Check those out. Check them out. You'll be able to watch content there as well. Check out the live reaction. See you boys next time. Yo ho!